Hey everybody, welcome to TIW Podcast. I'm Eric, and today I watched The Walking Dead Season 9, Episode 11, Bounty. Spoilers ahoy! If you haven't seen this episode yet and don't want to find out what happens, then hit that pause button and go watch it first. Then come back and listen. Alright, so this episode I enjoyed quite a bit. Not quite as much as I enjoyed the previous episode because I felt like the secondary story with Carol and Ezekiel and Jerry and their team going out to find a projection bulb. That's their main. I guess he said there was a side mission. That's a side mission. I'm not sure what the actual main mission is, but anyway, it is a little bit silly in a way. They're going to this movie theater just to get this projector bulb, but at the same time, that represents a little bit of hope, a little bit of a humanity for everybody there at the kingdom, that they can get their movie projector back up and running, and they can have a little bit of an escape from the world and the way it is. But so I forgive it for being a bit silly. It's also probably the last bit of hope that we'll see anybody have for now, because they are unaware of how screwed they're about to be. So back at the hilltop, we still have no idea what's going on at Alexandria. We did not see them in this episode, and I can't remember from episode 9 if the people who came back, who were with Jesus, if all of that if they know about it yet, because the kingdom, they have no idea about any of this stuff. So I can't remember if they made it back there or not. I feel like Aaron and Michonne got back over there, but maybe not. Anyway, that's not important. There's no focus on them at all. We don't see Alexandria at all in this episode. We do see over at Hilltop, coming right off of the cliffhanger from last week's episode, we have the Whisperers there at the gates, and Alpha has asked for her daughter back. So the tension is high throughout this whole episode. I forget the deaf character's name, but she is outside. She's out in the cornfield. She wasn't able to get back into the settlement before the Whisperers arrived. But that plays into this episode a lot because she's out there. She has a different perspective on things. And luckily, the two guys who were out and about, whose horses were killed in the last episode, I'm sorry that I forget all of these characters' names, but they were not killed. Instead, they were brought there as bargaining chips because Alpha would prefer to have her daughter back than kill those two guys. She was just going to kill them, but she realized that she could use them to get her daughter back. So that's the whole goal of this episode, is for Alpha to get her daughter back. But her daughter isn't too happy about going back, or so we think. From the preview, I did catch the preview for next week. I won't get into that. It could all be just be lie. There's so many lies all over the place that she could be lying about stuff to her mom. But she escapes. Henry gets her out of there, and they're trying to make a getaway. But Enid finds them, and some other lady, I don't know who she is. They find them and convince her, okay, we have to go back. This is not the right, or we have to go back into Hilltop. Not necessarily have to go back with Alpha. But Lydia, what did I call her by the name correctly before? Lydia, she seems hesitant, but she says, okay, well, I'll do it. I'll go back. Before all of that, though, one of the Whisperers who up to that point had successfully kept their baby quiet. Their baby was not being quiet, and maybe it's because of all the people talking. She's not used to hearing people talking with full voices, so that could have spooked the baby. But Alpha shrugs at her. You know what you got to do, because there's a herd of walkers coming. And the baby's just crying, attracting the walkers. She sets the baby down on the ground. That's it. It was a good run for however old that baby is, I guess. But the deaf gal in the trees, not the trees, the corn, she sees the signs from her friends, who is their captive, and because she can't hear the crying baby, obviously, but she sees that he's signing that there's a crying baby over there, and the walkers are gonna go and eat it. So she goes and kills a few of the walkers, rescues the baby, and then gets chased back into the cornfields by everybody involved, the walkers and the whisperers. But she gets some help from Daryl and the gang, and she gets back inside with the baby. And Rhett Butler and her husband, I don't know his character's name, I don't know her character's name, they end up adopting the baby. So they basically just stole a baby, but the mother of the baby was just about to let it get eaten. So I guess it's not really stealing so much as rescuing, adopting. There's no formal paperwork involved or anything like that, but perhaps we will get some paperwork involved with that, and it'll be framed on the wall, because that was the whole secondary story that they were getting. Also, getting the side quest to the side quest was to get a frame to put their community charter agreements document thing in. So that's the big old plan. I was really confused. Going back to the start of this episode, I was really confused. I thought that my DVR had incorrectly recorded or something, because Jesus was there and he was meeting with Ezekiel and Carol, along with who else was there with them? They were talking about Maggie. So I was like, oh, they're lying about Maggie still being around or something like that. Oh, wait, is this an older episode? It accidentally recorded a replay from the first half of the season. I don't remember this. And I realized it was a flashback. It was giving us that backstory for that charter document or whatever it's called. But anyway, so that was kind of cool for that character. I should just learn her name eventually, because now she's going on a quest to go find Henry, because Henry couldn't live with having let Lydia go back with the Whisperers, where she'll just be abused. I mean, Alpha just slaps her right in the mouth for calling her mom when she comes back out, and joins them. So Henry has gone off. He left a note, and Daryl has gone off to go after him, and what's her name insists that she will go along, because she can't live with having done it either. That was Henry's reasoning. So we're gonna have some. Oh, and Dog goes along with them. So that should be a fun adventure. Take up at least a couple of episodes with that storyline, and I'm guessing that we will see what's going on in Alexandria, that Alexandria will learn what's happening. Although I'm assuming that the mark on the back of the sign is a sign of the Whisperers. I can't remember if that's been made clear previously, that the people who trespassed into their area, if we saw that sign specifically before. I'm guessing that that's it. That would make the most sense. Why else would we see that? So they're gonna find out. Oh, everything here is different. This movie theater, the way we left it last time, was very different. So they have trespassed again, and I don't know if did they really commit any? What's the word for it? Did they do anything harmful to their territory by going out there? Were they really using that movie theater? Were they keeping all of the walkers that were inside of the movie theater for later to use as something or other? I can't really see how that could be an instigating event, but you never know. You never know. Maybe they did. They left a door open that shouldn't have been left open, and now things are just out of hand. But that also, I guess we'll see. We'll see. That has to be. There has to be more to this side mission that's going to have bigger implications than just them having a movie theater back in action now. So we'll see where all of that goes. It was a nice moment with Carol and Ezekiel, you know, being all lovey-dovey, having gotten the Jerry up there in the projection booth, and them getting together. Now they're a little bit. They jumped the gun on framing that. They're gonna have to take it back out of the frame, obviously, because it's like the whole birthday card signing situation on Seinfeld. Like you put it under glass. Why? I wasn't able to sign. You screwed me again, Costanza. So they got to get that back out of there when they're ready to sign it. But I'm sure that's like that won't be too much of a problem. But there's just that image. They're like so proud of having it in there. They're like, oh wait, nobody signed this yet. So yeah, I like this episode. I'm still looking forward to see what happens next. It's not as exciting of a cliffhanger as last time, but there's no way it's that easy. They got the two guys back, but there's more trespassing into their territory, I guess. But a line that Alpha says, I forget if maybe she says this in the comic too. She says, "We're animals. We live out here, so we have babies out here." In response to Daryl, like, oh, you brought a baby here? Like, this is just where we are. We don't. It's just all of us are here. We brought all of our stuff. This is us. A whole new episode of This Is Us, starring the Whisperers. Yeah, they got their two people back, but there's no way that things are finished. And Alpha, it seems like she's gonna, whether or not, okay, from the preview, it sounds like Lydia's selling out Henry and all of them, saying that, oh, I was lying so that I could gain their trust and that kind of thing. But she could be lying to Alpha just so that she doesn't get beat up or worse. So we'll see where all that goes. It's been so long since I read the Whisperer War and the events leading up to it, because we're not at the actual Whisperer War yet. It's like the instigating event kicked off the Whisperer War, if I remember correctly. Sorry, comic book spoilers, kind of. It's not really specific about what the Whisperer War is exactly. No, now to be honest, okay, the spoilers for the comic books, I do want to talk about it for a second. So as far as the Whisperer War goes, it's only 6 issues, which I feel like it deserved a lot more than that. There is a lot of build up to it before that, if I remember correctly. I remember very vaguely. But this whole current storyline has been way, way more issues than the whole Whisperer thing. And I like the Whisperer stuff so much more than what's going on now. And it's like, yeah, I don't know. I like the show a lot more than I like the comic books currently. But of course that could flip. It flips. It changes hands. What's more entertaining for me every now and then. Of course, I only started reading the comic book during like season 7, I think, anyway, or maybe season 6. But yeah. So that's my comic book spoilers, kind of, not really, but potentially referencing that there's stuff that happens after the Whisperer stuff. There might not be stuff that happens after the Whisperer stuff on the TV show. Maybe everything just ends. I don't know. I think they announced that's season 10. Yeah. I think the week, like the day after episode 9 came out, they announced that it was renewed for season 10. Or maybe it was right before the mid-season premiere. Can't remember. But there will be at least one more season, but it could all be Whisperer stuff, potentially. Because there's only 6 more episodes, and if they burn through all of that in those 6 episodes... no, actually... Okay, no spoiler. I'm done with matching up with comic book stuff. Except for... There's no way that we're going to be done with the Whisperers at the end of this season. There's got to be more to it continuing into season 10. Okay, so that's it. That's my thoughts on episode 11 of season 9 of The Walking Dead. It's called Bounty, or just Bounty by itself. I'm a little bit disappointed that there were no paper towels involved in anything in this episode. But there was the bounty that is, you could say that there's a bounty on their heads to get using them as a bargaining chip to get Lydia back. So there's that way. And then you could say their mission was bountiful, that they were able to retrieve their bounty on that mission of the projector bulb, and the frame. So good title for this episode. Pretty good, except for the lack of any paper towels whatsoever. Or maybe I missed them. Were there things that needed to get cleaned? Oh, maybe they used them to clean up. Oh, I missed it. It might have just been a regular towel, but now I'm thinking it's probably some paper towels that they used to clean off that picture frame to get it cleaned up nice and presentable. There you go. Triple meaning. All right, that's it for now. Let me know what you thought about this episode by tweeting me at TIW Podcast. Go to TIWpodcast.com for more reviews. If you enjoyed this episode or anything else on the site, please share some links with your friends. Subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you listen to podcasts. And I'll be back real soon with more The Walking Dead next week, and WWE before then, and the new comics this week. All the stuff that happens in all these episodes. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you later. Bye.